Host from The View, Elisabeth Hasselbeck, just grilled Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the entire cast of The View in an epic proportion. Over there, admiration against Carrie Underwood just because she wanted to support Donald Trump at the inauguration. It's the end of the left as we know it.
So she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I see.
I mean, right? It's country music. I think
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't
sing. You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted...
Obama did it. That's the thing with these people. They don't want to admit that Obama did it. Obama is normalizing it. Bernie Sanders is normalizing it. We see a lot of Democrat politicians that's normalizing it. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. The list, it goes on and on. Beyond that, Senator Chuck Schumer. We see Democrats that are bending the knee to Trump. They're saying, hey, we accept that you won as president. You're the new leader. Let's get to work. Let's make this country better for all of our citizens. It's just these women on The View, they can't seem to see it. They can't admit that Trump isn't a bad guy, because as soon as they admit it, I believe the entire show has to close down. I mean, what would The View be without Trump being the bad guy? Whether you're conservative or liberal, I want you to answer that question. What could The View push if Trump was actually considered a good guy? It would somewhat destroy their entire premise of a show. So I can understand their admiration against anything that's for Trump, but now they're taking it out on the people that support him. Carrie Underwood has been loved by America since day one. And now you're telling me that she has the opportunity to get hate on The View just because she's going to perform at an inauguration. Not a rally, none of those things, an inauguration, which is an honorable event. It's an event that shouldn't be deemed partisan. It's about solidifying yourself in American history. Nothing more, nothing less.
Felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion. I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon.
If I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe they have the same right.
Of course.
And so I have to, I have to support. Doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in what I won't be watching.
They can't help themselves. Here with reaction, author of the children's book, God's Masterpiece, broadcaster Elisabeth Hasselbeck is with us. Don't you miss sitting at that table? You've got to, deep down, you must really miss that noise. You've got to miss it.
I mean, deep down, I'm missing out. I'm just thankful to be here with you. This is safe territory, Sean. Although I would have loved to have been at that table today. They have refused to put anyone there who has a lick of sense on most days. But today, when those comments got passed around, even Whoopi Goldberg could not agree with the outlandish remark of Joy Behar. I mean, Joy Behar wants us to, in the name of, by the way, liberal tolerance at its best, right? This is what we're seeing. She wants us to believe that Carrie Underwood, who won American Idol by American votes, who had an album and tour called All American Girl.
Since day one, Carrie Underwood was loved.
Who actually has spent more time on USO tours serving and helping and donating money to our nation's finest, our military, their families, and our veterans, is about to perform America the Beautiful at the historic event of the inauguration of the President of the United States of America, and that she's un-American for doing so. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
These are the same people that tried to somehow align Donald Trump with Nazis because he hosted a rally at the Madison Square Garden, despite the Madison Square Garden hosting tens and tens and tens to hundreds of events. It's absolutely insane. From rappers to politicians. Jimmy Carter even hosted a rally at the Madison Square Garden. Nobody cared. From what I was seeing, Obama went to the Madison Square Garden before. Nobody cared. These are the people that it's okay until Trump do it. They have found a way to create a negative narrative no matter what Trump does. And I hope the disingenuous nature of these people has at least allowed for some Americans that are, somewhat in the middle, undecided, to see these things for what they are. And it's just media propaganda and manipulation. It's cool until he do it. And that's just not truth. That's not what the independent American is looking for. We're looking for an easy answer. One that we ain't got to think too hard about because we got the kids and bills to worry about. But we don't want to be manipulated in that short amount of time that we have available for today. We just want the truth. We want it fast. We want it quick. and we want it to be verifiable. But when they come out here with this, it leads people to see trends that, hey man, it's been 8, 9, 10 years and they still hate Trump. Anything he does is deemed Hitler or deemed a Nazi. And it's come to the point where it's playing out. It's getting played out. They are trying to force us to hate Carrie Underwood. Like, bro, that's crazy. You can't find a Negro that hates Carrie Underwood. Like, it's just, she's one of those people. Who the fuck hates Carrie Underwood? But they will find a way. You know, I believe that if an angel was to come down from heaven and to support Trump, only liberals would find a way to manipulate the public into believing that it's a demon. They would have a way to completely change the perspective of what an angel is at first. And that's what they do. They first change your perspective of what's in front of you. They'll say, well, we know that the Bible claims that that's an angel. We know that the Bible might say that those wings represent an angel. And I know he's dressed in all white and draped in gold, but he's not actually an angel. He's a demon that dressed up as an angel to trick you. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. They have ways to manipulate the truth, and they have ways to convince the public that an angel that literally comes down to help save this country is their greatest threat. It's their talent of being spin doctors is what they do. And like I said, they would be nothing without Trump being a bad guy.
So ridiculous.
They're living, it's as though the election never stopped for them. And they just cling to their hatred of Donald Trump, which is fine. I have no problem with that at all. But like a lot of these late night comedy shows that no longer have anybody watching them, and they're officially on cancellation notice because they're not going to survive with the numbers that they're getting. I don't think The View will survive ultimately either. So they start out by alienating half the country, but that's only part of it. They also, they continually lie to their audience. And I would argue that any content provider moving forward that is going to have any level of success, they're not going to get away with what MSDNC and fake news CNN and ABC, NBC, CBS do, and that is lie to their audiences and are so partisan and political and pretend to be journalists. That's not going to survive any longer.
And that's what I believe. Like I said, it just can't survive because too many independents are starting to say, man, how can you hate this dude forever? We voted for him. Like, it's showing that they don't even care about the opinions and the votes of the general public. They are trying to die on a hill that, quite frankly, doesn't really exist anymore. It's not a hill or a position that many others are taking. The tech billionaires, the conglomerates of America, have parted and sided with Trump. As of today, Donald Trump has received more funds than his first term, his second attempt of a term, Joe Biden's run for his presidential inauguration fund. That tells us a lot. He has gotten more money from these billionaires, alleged trillionaires, than any of these other presidents. That tells us that he has won the cultural war, and that the hill that Joy is dying on, Whoopi dies on, and the rest of the witches at the View, it's just a hill that simply is vanishing away. They're a product of the past, and they have a hard time believing they're no longer needed. There was once a time where there were young men that's entire job was to knock on windows in cities to wake up the citizens before alarm clocks. I can't imagine the despair that they had when they were told that alarm clocks were going to be created, that they no longer were needed, that they had to find new ways to work their wages. I could see backlash. I could see panic. I could even see some going up to their politicians and trying to make a change, but it was inevitable. And I can't imagine any of those men, young men, that died on the hill of still knocking on doors, although alarm clocks were made. I'm sure anyone that was not willing to accept the change, to accept the existence of alarm clocks, severely regretted the decision of trying to go against them because it dominated. And once we got alarm clocks, we ain't looked back. I view the Hill in the same situation. They're unable to hear the alarm clocks. They're unable to see the invention, that they are a product of the past. Yeah, they were useful, but you just can't say the same for today. And it's time for them to hear the music, or in a better sense, hear the beeping of the alarms. It's time for them to go to bed. America has woke up.
Sean, you just put a dart right in the center, okay? This is all I have to say. I can't agree with you more. You're 100% right. When we see, and we know, listen, you and I know Joy, and I've actually known Carrie as long as I've known Joy. I'm friends with one and have been colleagues with another. You can take the guess, your audience. But I'll say this. What Joy is up to is nothing more than selfish personal publicity gain right now. She wants to attach her name to Carrie Underwood's name so that she maintains relevance because they know the ship is sinking. Number one. Number two, though, even considering that, we cannot let a dysmorphic lie sit out there in the air. It has to be extinguished. And that's
Even she knows the ship is sinking, and she would know more than most. She was on The View.
what we're doing tonight. We're actually being truth bearers because what we know to be true is that it's actually more un-American to call someone un-American for exercising their American rights. Is every person that shows up on Inauguration Day, from security to custodial staff, un-American? Is that what Joy's saying? If you show up there to do your job, and by the way, she is a woman who says she's for women
And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's kind of disrespectful. Trump supporters believe that the election was stolen from them. That was the main thing in 2020. Yet, I don't think any of them said attending a Joe Biden inauguration was un-American. It's like the narratives that these people choose. They want to separate God-loving, freedom-loving Americans from their country. And it's just the strangest thing ever. How can you try to vilify people that praise and brand the American flag more than any other type of American as being un-American? Conservatives are literally the individuals that bring the American flag black in style every year.
strong working women. That's a lie. She should be supporting Carrie Underwood, and actually Carrie's a great, great woman. She could learn a lot from her because Carrie surrounds herself with people who don't always agree with her politically or posture themselves precisely how she does, be it faith or anything else, but she's loving and kind to them. And actually, Joy, if she were as strong as she was, she could learn.
I have no idea what Carrie Underwood's politics are, and I don't care. I don't know what Rascal Flatts' politics are. I just like their music. I don't know about the Village people. I don't know about their politics, but I'm glad they're going to be there. It's going to be a fun night. Probably not a lot of fun for Kamala supporters. Are you going to the inauguration or no?
No, I'm thinking about it. We've got to work out some...
That face looks like she's not going. I'll be there at the inauguration if you guys going to be there. I'll be at the rally on the 19th. I'll be at 2 different balls. And then I'm going to be at the inauguration on the 20th. So excited to turn up with everybody there. Hope you're going to be there. I don't like she's going to be there.
Calendar issues here. I'd certainly love to be there. I think it's a historic event. I think if you have the opportunity as an American to be a part of something or near something this great, you should.
I'm even going to get dressed up. Just one night only. I'll get really dressed up.
Me too. I'm planning on getting dressed up. I got a nice fit. I'm going to get really, really dressed up. I'm super excited. This is a legendary moment. We got to enjoy it. I'm actually been getting ready for the flights now. Been packing up everything. But, you know, this is the first video of the day. You know how we do this. Number 2 is coming out 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on where you live. We're focusing on more celebrity news, as you can tell. And we're going to be breaking down some interesting stuff that you haven't been hearing yet. And the world of Hollywood is changing right before our eyes. I'm so ready to get into this because Hollywood is becoming Republican. Surprise. We'll be breaking down to that with our upcoming videos. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. The view average has been going up on this page. The more we're covering this content, so naturally I'm going to start covering more of that content. Please comment on the video if you have the time. If not, scroll on by. Like the video. You might have the time for that. It helps out a lot. And I'm going to be a little bit extra to click the notification bell if you are a subscriber, just so you can stay updated on the next post. This is a little bit shorter than we normally do. Trying out the new format. Trying to mix out some short videos and some long videos, seeing how you guys feel about both. I know a lot of you prefer the long videos, but I'm just going to get some of the shorter ones out of there too. That way I don't take up the time of the subscribers that don't have much time, you know, that's on work break, etc. So this one is for you. If you only have 10-15 minutes a day to watch some videos, this one right here is for you. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in a few hours at 7.